every driver have a reputation in the paddock. You know some guys. I will not say any names. That you know that they are like a bit more aggressive. That you have to be careful when you fight with them. And if you have the reputation that you are a bit too gentle, too nice, the guys will take more risk on you because they know you are a bit easy to overtake.
I see some people, or just different drivers, and you see who has just in their careers a higher percentage of either having been in a collision or being in a collision, or guys that have won championships and are usually rarely in a collision.
That's very important. Obviously, you have to learn how your opponents are, how they drive, how they behave.
You need to be aware who you're around. Before a race, and you see who's behind you, who's beside you, who's in front of you. You know who is has a higher percentage of either creating a collision or getting into one than other drivers.
I think the best trick I've had is probably nothing to do with helping car balance or whatever. It's just reading situations, reading people, reading my opponents, not treating them all the same.
I guess you learn like what guys you can trust and what you can't. And sometimes because of that, you give them a bit more room when you go by. Sometimes just from the behavior of the car as you're coming up to it.
You see lots of drivers, they are bloody fast, they are super quick, and you think they're gonna win every race. But then they do stupid mistakes, they do stupid overtakes, which ended up crashing in the wall with some others, where you think yourself, why did he do that?
I have been the guy who's crashed 10 times in a year, and I am now the guy I haven't hit a wall in the last 3 seasons. So I can really say it starts with the environment that you live within your team, the way you approach the races, the way you approach the season. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am super aggressive, but I like to measure my risks.
When you get into a situation where you need to overtake someone, you already know how much you can either give in or how aggressive you have to be to get in front of them. So I think that's where it gets to the point where it's like you kind of lay your risks on someone else's hands as well, because if it takes two to tango.
As I say, it depends who is the other guy. If it's someone I know which is aggressive, I will give up quite early. If I know it's someone which is quite cool, I will keep the move as far as possible until he got scared or he will give up.
If one of them isn't really willing, one of you will end up off the circuit, or both of you will. So I think it really depends on who you're fighting on track with.
It all comes down to respect. So if you have respect for each other and if that is primarily there, then it will not be an issue.
Some guys that I've raced in junior formulas where I've raced very hard, but we give each other room, and there is that respect, even if you're not teammates. But there's other drivers that are just not going to give it to you. And I found out last year, sometimes the hard way, of who's going to shove me off and who will not, who will give me room, who won't give me room. Wish I could race everybody the same, but that's just not the case.
But this comes with experience, obviously, and these days I think like I can avoid problems way more than before, and it's really funny. Like I wish I could go back to when I was 15 years old and know everything that I know now.